Alright guys, well we're over here at my little city park. My ramp's over there. It's kind of tore up. My X-Maxx and Creighton kind of did a number on it because it's meant for my lighter cars like my little Rustlers and the Maxx. So here's our little Maxx. This is the one, obviously this is the one we just fixed last night. It was dark when I got done. So I came out and we're gonna try it out, see how it does. It needs a servo put in it. Ever since I got the truck, it has never returned to center for some reason. I've changed receivers, or I've changed the little radio in there. Tried a different remote. I've rebound everything, and it's definitely got to be the servo because it if you turn right, sometimes it won't return to center. You'll have to manually do it. I don't know, so I'm gonna put a servo in it. But anyway, let's play around with it a little bit, see what we got. There went the GoPro. I'm putting that servo in tonight. This one is done. That's full steer to the right. Tire done come unglued. Oh, we done destroyed the tire. Look at there. It's about right. Alright guys, so here we are. Let's go ahead and pull this servo out of here. And I've never pulled a servo out of a Maxx before. It looks super easy. So let's pull this brace out of here first. This is going to be 2.5 on all these 4 little screws. Let's go ahead and get these out. The one in the back right here, right next to the ESC, is a little short one. That's what it looks like. You have to excuse my hands, guys. They're dirty right now. I just did a starter on my 1-ton. It's a diesel, and it had a little oil down there. They can do that sometimes. And man, I had to do it in the parking lot at the parts store, and that was not cool. So I haven't got my hands clean just yet. Alright, so these two right here, that's what those look like. The one right in the front right here, that's the longer screw. It's that one right there. I'll just put those right back there. Let's just grab this brace out of there and be sure that your little bearings don't get misplaced. See that one right there, it looks like it's missing. It actually stayed on that brace there, so don't lose those little bearings. If it's stuck well, cool. If not, pop it out of there, put it inside that bell crank. I guess we'll pull the servo and stuff out of there first. So let's go ahead and get it unplugged and everything. We're gonna pull this box out of here, or the wires out rather. These are a 2mm. Anytime you see me go with the red bit, that's a 2. The blue is a 2.5 for future references. If you see a black one right here, that's a 3. You won't see that very often. You hear all that banging around. It's them doing construction outside my house again, working on the street. Alright. Got those out of there. I'm going to take my little needle nose and just pick those right out. Put all these screws over here because my bolt tray has other junk in it from a Revo and God knows what else. Alright. Pull that out. So number 1 is always going to be your servo, so we can just go ahead and unplug that right now. It's going to be in channel 1. Pull that right out of there. There, now it's unplugged. Now we can go ahead and unscrew it. There's going to be 3 screws in this servo. You got one here, one over here, and one right here. I have the camera kind of laid back like you're standing on the right side of me, because if I put it directly above, it's a cool shot, guys, but then all you see is my wrist when I'm holding the screwdriver up like this. So this will be good. This servo, I don't know if I inserted any footage before this or not, but this servo is done. I run the big tires on this truck most of the times, the big tires off the Revo, and I don't necessarily think that's what killed it. Of course, it didn't help it, but this servo gave me problems from the get-go. I bought the truck, took it out of the box, and the TSM never worked for some reason, and I don't know what that is, but it never could make up its mind if it wanted to go straight, right, or what. You come out of a turn, and it wouldn't correct itself, and sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't, and it's just a mess. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this screw out right here, make it a little easier to work with. That's going to be a 2mm. Cool, this is going to be an easy deal here. There we go. Ooh, that thing doesn't have no weight to it. The X-MAXX one is heavier. Wow. Okay. There it is. I'm gonna move the truck over here just real quick. All right, so I had to grab this adapter for the X-MAXX because it's an X-MAXX size servo in there, and that thing really has no weight to it whatsoever. All right, so let's get this out of here and see how this is gonna work. Comes with a couple of screws. Now the little servo that I'm gonna put in here is that little guy. It's a little Traxxas 2255, and it's a lot smaller, but it's almost twice as strong. I think this one's 251 inch-pounds or somewhere around there, 231. This is 400, so it's almost twice as strong. You may as well say it is. And it'll be enough because it works great for the Revo to turn those big tires. This truck is lighter and runs smaller tires sometimes and the same size tires most of the time, so we should be fine. Actually, I wonder if I can leave. I have a servo horn, but I wonder if that servo horn won't work. Put that right back in for this linkage, and it will. The factory linkage will go right in there, so I bet that's going to work just fine. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, like that there, okay, and transfer it right over to this little fella. There we go. Cool. All right. So this one was in here like this here. So we need to be sure that this one goes back in the same way. So we're going to have to re-clock that arm the way it looks. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And we're going to have to find center on the servo before we get it in there. But this will get it close. There we go. All right. Okay, so I'm going to plug a battery in over here. Just going to hang it off the back of the truck on my table here, just like that. I'm going to turn my remote on, and I'm going to go ahead and plug this servo in back into channel 1. All right, and we're going to power it up. Now let's just be sure that we have our steering trim in the center. So all you do is center it right up, right dead center. So I'm going to put that back on 0. Multifunction, I don't know if it matters or not. I don't think that it does. I always turn it all the way down. So now our servo is in the center, right there. So this needs to be straight up. And you can see that it's not. It's clocked over about 1 o'clock. So I'm going to take this back off and clock it straight up real quick here. And that, yeah, I think it'll clock correctly. Sometimes it won't clock exactly straight up. This one, yep. Now you see it's dead straight. Cool beans. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to drip 1 drop of Loctite on the screw that belongs in there, right over here, right off the camera, and put it back in, just to assure it doesn't come out. Now let's tighten that back up. Good and tight, and there we go. Now we can put it right back in. So I'm going to unplug my battery. Have to unplug this one because this is the 6S ESC. And now we can go ahead and put it all right back in. Okay, so let's just put it right back in the way that we took it out. So I'm going to unplug my servo, and I'm going to feed the wire right back to the box and plug it back in. Plug it back in like everything else is. Look at where your black wire is, or your white wire. If your black wire is on the right hand side when you're looking at it, put this one the same exact way. Be sure you put it back in channel 1. That's it. We're good to go. Now I'm going to take most of this wire, pull it in, because this servo is going to have to sit like this, right? So I'm going to leave that just like that for now. Let's go ahead and get this servo put in our new adapter. So this is going to have to sit in here like that there. See? So then our servo has to go in like this. So then we're just going to take this servo and set it right in there. Using the 2 screws that it came supplied with, just bolt it right in, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So there, that one goes there, that one goes there. These look like 2 millimeters. Good and tight. All right, this one here. Yeah, baby, it's tight. It even stalled out the drill. Okay, and then we're just going to carefully put this back in where it belongs. I think this spread on me just a little bit when I tightened it. Yeah, it did. There we go. Oh, perfect. It laid right in there. See there? Okay, and then just replace the 3 screws that you took out of it. And the 3 screws that go in there are the screws with the large head like that. We'll just put those right in. No Loctite. These go right back into plastic. Loctite won't do them any good. You could probably use some clear fingernail polish if you wanted, but I own a few Maxxes and I've never had these come loose on me, so I'm not going to worry with doing that. There we go. Go ahead and hook up our steering linkage while we're here. Here we go. It looks like we found center okay. Good deal. Okay, we'll put our screw right back in here. Good and tight. All right. Now be sure you don't knock your bell crank assembly off of the lower bearings there. All right, that's all good to go. Servo is in, servo's done. So now let's go ahead, pull our wiring where it needs to be. Kind of crossed over that motor wire there. I'm gonna just unplug it real quick. Take it back out. And I'm gonna come into the right side of these wires, just like that there, see there? Pull it all the way back in. And again, put the wires back just like you took them out. The way I'm looking at it, right, the black is on the right hand side, so I'm gonna put it back in the same way. Channel 1. We can go ahead and give it a quick test real quick, just to be sure before we button the cover back up. We don't want to have to take it all the way back off of there. So I'm going to plug my batteries right back in. My remote is still on. I'm going to power it up. I'm going to hold these down. It works. Okay, we're good to go. You know the servo is plugged in correctly and it's going to work. So now we can go ahead and just be careful with this wire not to pinch it. Be sure you get it wadded up neatly. Wadded neatly. I'm not sure if that's a thing. Fold it up neatly. Pack it up inside there. And gently put the cover back on. Making sure not to pinch that blue O-ring down there so that you do seal water out properly. All that good stuff. There we go. I'm going to put these screws right back in. I'm going to put one in to hold it down so I can let go of it. There we go. Replace the other 2. There we go. Snug but not overly tight. Careful with that wire there, the antenna wire. There we go. Alright, now just be sure these are all as neat as can be. Be sure that they're in between the little channels where they're supposed to sit so that when you tighten it down, you don't pinch it. Grab me a little bit of this grease. This Traxxas silicone grease here. I think it's just dielectric compound. And I'm just going to put me a little row. Put me a little bead across the top there to keep all that dirt and water and stuff out of there. More so water. And then when you put this on, just be sure that you don't pinch one of these wires. So I'm going to just kind of hold everything down. That one's not there. That all looks good there. There we go. And now these are a 2mm, so I'm going to switch over. Go ahead and run one down. Whoops. Run one down. There we go. All right, perfect. We are good to go. Now we're going to put our little brace back in there. Make sure both bearings are in place. These are good to go. Be sure this wire is not in the way. I didn't even pay attention to check my motor wire, so I'm going to have to open that back up here in just a second. But just put your brace back in the way that you took it out, making sure not to pinch any wires. Just like that right there. And replace your screws. Remember, the long screw goes up in the front. Shorter screw goes in the back. These two screws here go on the wings out here. Perfect. Chuck up our 2.5 again. Man, got away from me. There we go. Okay. Ooh, it doesn't go there. Oh, here it is. Grab the screw off my table. There we go. Okay, one more time. I'll turn my remote on. We're going to power it up and we're going to see how it steers. Alright, let's take a look. Let's see what it does now. Let's go ahead and set our endpoint. So the way we do this, we hold down the menu, starts flashing, menu, set, menu, menu. Alright, and you're supposed to have it on the ground, I think, but I don't. I always take it up off the, take the weight up off the tires. And this is what we do here. Let me try to do this. Alright, so you're going to turn it all the way to the right, and then turn it back, get the bind off of it. See there? Hit set. The light will flash green. When it goes back to, okay, when it goes back to flashing red, you're done. Now we're going to turn left, turn it back just to get the bind off, and then hit set again. Wait till it starts flashing, and you're done. There we go. That's full right, full left. Way, way faster than that thing. Oh man, that's gonna be fun. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna pop this cover off real quick, guys, and I'm just gonna see if my motor wire is disconnected. If it's not, then I know the motor just burned up, so I can get me another one on the way. I hope this helped you guys out. I'm sorry that I didn't have any shots of my good-looking face on camera. I'm filthy. I've been out working all day, but I did want to get this video on here for you guys. I had the opportunity to make this video, and I didn't want to just do it and then not share it with you guys. I didn't know when I would do another one. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next video.